But
treasure
anyway, we're
commander.
sitting here talking about tribes, and I think there's a
Allison.
yeah.
Allison, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. I'm trying to get the other tribal deck online for you guys.
Okay, so we'll start going over the cat deck. If you want to try to chime in a little bit as you do that, you can. Uh, so we're looking at Rin and Seri. This is, I believe that's on the list when we go over it.
Can you just zoom in just a little bit?
Oh yeah, you want me to?
Yeah, just because we're not in our usually big format, it's a little
Okay.
bit harder to read the stuff over stream.
Yeah, so that should be better. Okay, so
real quick question though. So Allison, when you were making this deck, because it's both cat and dogs, why did you lean more towards cat than the dog side?
So Tom helped me build this, and I think we just leaned towards cats because they were just more available and more available good cards. Like there are dogs, and it was good that hounds could count as dogs. I don't think wolves count as dogs; they're their own thing still. But it was just utility, I guess. Because if there's not enough dogs to fill out a deck completely, then you can't just make a dog tribal. And for mixing it up, you could still do that, but then you lose some of the better cats, or you just get more benefit in general if you play all cats, it seems.
yeah, being focused is always kind of better. That's what I was like telling her when we were like first building this. It's like if you're trying to do a mixed tribe thing, it usually doesn't play out very well because they're not like a tribe that just like plays together. Like they're not just like, because a decent amount of them, like there isn't a ton of lords, but like the commander is a lord, and like when we were looking into the dogs, like there really wasn't anything. Like the only dogs were really the stuff that came out in M21. Like there really wasn't any other like good dogs really that existed in the game. They were all really generic and not very good. And like cats has just always been like cat cards have just always been played in standard. Like they've just always been good cards. Like when you start looking through the list, you're just like, yep, I've definitely seen this played in like a deck, or like they're just a much better and focused tribe. Like
I also think because anything that was somewhat cat-like, so whether it was like a Leonin, which are a big race in Magic lore, or it was just like an actual lion or like a tiger or a Mikado, they were all still technically called a cat. So we probably have a much larger pool. Like we don't have like a dog person, like a dog species, like mixed like a Leonin, that's like counted as a dog.
Yeah, because there's like that weird Amon Cat one, like the Jackal, but they actually called them Jackals, I think, in Amon Cat. But yeah, so cats are just better for sure. Like it's a much better tribe. They've gotten way more support, and like there's always just better cat cards, and dog cards just basically don't exist. So yeah, it's basically because the damage is equal to the amount of dogs, and you gain life equal to cats. So like, and you do get dogs when you play the cats. So like, it's kind of like backwards the way the effect works, which is fine.
But I guess it doesn't really matter because if you cast a cat, you get a dog, and if you cast a dog, you get a cat. So you always kind of generate this. You'll have technically the same unless you have a token generator, like a Peril Lives,
or like a like a shapeshifter, or like a changeling, and you get both.
Yeah, true.
Which I think she plays like 2 or 3. But yeah, so like starting to get into the creatures, like you could even just start reading some of them, and a huge majority of the deck is cats, and they're all really good.
Alms Collector, we all know, is really good.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like White's version of like, hey, stop drawing a card, and I get the draw.
Notion Thief. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people actually do play this in CDH now that Hull Breacher's ban. I think it's a terrible card, and like
mana.
it's. Yeah, but like it's basically just like, do you want to play wheels still? Well, this is like all you got left, but Hull Breacher needed to die anyway. So here's the cat commander that added a couple of good, like some really good cats that you're gonna see. I'm pretty sure she's playing one of the other ones that came with this deck exclusively. And this one's really good. So Eminence is a really strong ability. I think the only deck that we've made with Eminence on the channel is, well, similar is like a Loro.
Yeah, Allura was
You
like one of
know,
the first, like
where
that early stage when they started. Hey, let's have some commanders that had abilities outside of
Mhm.
the game and in the command zone.
and then they never did it again.
Yeah, because the other one we had was, put this Bant colored creature into play that has the best colors for stacks, and then when it
Mhm.
enters or attacks and stuff, whatever, we get to untap stuff. Isn't that
Yeah, it's
fun?
stupid. Yeah, it's stupid. But this one is pretty balanced. It's just it gets to give a cat +3/+3 until end of turn. Uh, and then it can also pay 3, and it basically doubles its power and gives it trample. So it's pretty good. Beast Whisperer, because
It's a creature
she's
based
playing
deck.
green. Yeah, so
I
Brimaz, because one of the best cats
I love
for sure.
Burmaz. Burmaz was so cool.
Always really
A
good.
standard all star too,
Bronze Hide Lion.
which
You
is
know, base.
it's updated Fleece Main Lion.
Yeah, it's updated. Yeah, which she's playing both of them. So, yeah. Chameleon Colossus, because it's good to play some of these, and he's just a good one. Pro Black that can pump itself,
Hmm.
so she gets both, and this gets pumped by whatever kind of, it gets double pumped from, or it gets pumped by whatever kind of effect or anything.
Double pump.
Yeah. So,
Crater
and
Hoof.
then the hoof,
Yeah,
because you gotta end games. Because sometimes you just gotta do it,
yeah. I mean, with a
because it is a
commander
cat.
that could gain life though, like even if you lose a
Yeah,
little bit, you could pop yourself up real quick.
yeah, I totally
That
agree.
was the new one, yeah.
Yeah, this one's really good. So it's other cats get +1/+1 and have protection from dogs. And then whenever one or more cats deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to one target artifact or enchantment that player controls. Fleece Main Lion, we
Mm.
talked about him. Hexproof Indestructible. This one enters the battlefield. You can turn a green or white creature you control to its owner's hand. So she plays a couple of these that can bounce her own creatures just to get like more value,
Yeah,
which is kind of good. So Generous Stray, when it enters, you draw.
I love the
Uh,
artwork on that Jennifer Shea. It's literally just the cat's like gift human.
yes, and it's like a dead lizard.
Hmm.
Yeah. And Initiate's Companion. When it deals combat damage to a player, untap target creature or land. Here's another changeling that comes in with a changeling.
Hmm.
So she only gets 2, but the other thing counts as a counts as a cat and a dog, which is really good. Goldmane, another like Craterhoof-esque effect.
That
It gives.
that's the artwork I use for Cal. When
Oh
I
yeah, Jazzle Goldmane.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Sweet card. It's pretty good.
which I believe
Uh
that's in the lore. That's a Johnny's brother, a Johnny Goldmane.
oh yeah, no, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's
because
cool.
I believe Jazza ends up getting killed in something, and that's where he gets his axe from. Because you see the axe that he has, that's where he like fuses it to Johnny fuses it to his weapon, and now he has both to carry his brother with him, kind of thing.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So Kahira, another
Oh, I didn't know
newer.
that was a cat.
Yeah, it's cat, and then it pumps cats.
You know what? It's the horns that threw me off. I thought it was like an elk or something. I
No, it's
guess
a cat
it's
beast.
the beast side of it. Yeah.
Keeper of Fables, because it's a cat, and then you
Yeah.
get to draw when you deal damage. King of the Pride,
Mm-hmm.
cat lord. Leonin Arbiter, because
Ew.
hating people. War Leader, because really good. It's like another Brimaz, but makes more, and they have lifelink.
Mm-hmm.
Marisi, because
Yeah.
goading. And they can't cast spells during combat, so like you get to play combat unimpeded. Mentor the Meek, because you make a lot of 1/1s, so it's really easy to draw with it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the other really busted card that came out from
All
the
right.
commander deck. This one has First Strike. It's Cat Warrior. Whenever it attacks, each opponent can't block more than one creature this combat, so they can only block one creature. And then as long as she's tapped, no more than one creature can attack you each combat. Such a ridiculously good card. It's just so good. Mirror Entity, because another Craterhoof-esque type thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a lot of 1/1s, and this makes 2, like being able to make them all like 6/6s or 7/7s is really good. War Pride, because it's a cat, so it's just a good one to have. Frostfang,
Yes, Frostfang.
just a great card. Death Touch and drawing again. Another Cat Lord. Oh no, he gets +1/+1 for each other cat, and then you can exert him to create 2 cats.
So one of the cool things, actually, Pride Sovereign almost made me want to rebuild a cat deck when I saw him come out. I was like, oh, I love it.
You mean in modern, right?
Yeah, because that's what originally what I had it for.
Mm-hmm. Pride Malkin enters. You put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Each creature with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample.
Can we go back
Prowling.
for 1 second with Pride? So it's a 2/1 with a little cat that's that small. If you think about it, Viserys, a literal like dude that cuts people up to scry, is weaker technically than this cat. Just want to point that out there. He's a 1/1.
Yeah.
That's a 2/1.
Well, you can make it a 3/2.
Yeah, but just like a baseline, if you want to think about it, you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a literal person versus a cat. Cat's like, yo, no, I'm stronger. I'll hurt you more.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Prowling,
Prowling
Serapapa.
turn. Yeah, cat snake. People forget this is a cat.
Yep,
Can't keeps things from being countered.
this is good.
Another good one. Here's another lord, and they get lifelink, and then when it enters, you get 2/1/1 cats. Torn Mauler, just because another shapeshifter that gets huge. A cat that can bounce cats.
Yep.
Pretty good. Another cat, a 1-mana cat, and then white main lion.
Oh yeah, it's the other self blinky like effect. White main lion gets put in a lot of like Chu Lane like effect decks because of it bounces. I think it's like Dune Skimmer or Skitter is like the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never seen that, but
they're really good at like the self bouncy stuff. Then a bunch of your standard lands for.
With I see Cavernous Souls, Castle Garenbrig, Gavany Township's good, Hall Heliod's, Nykthos. Yeah, pretty in there on the land base, like not holding any of the money back. Triumph, just another hoof effect.
Yeah.
Cultivate, Farseek, Harvest Season. This is equal to the number of tap creatures you control because she goes really wide, so like that kind of effect's really good.
Yeah.
Shamanic Revelation, because just one of the best cards in these kind of decks.
Because you go
Aura
wide
Shard.
strategy. Ooh, that's
Aura Shard.
That's popping
is
2
gross.
things with every creature. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. Beastmasters,
It's
another
got
pump.
kitties on it.
Cathars, another way to win.
Yo, that is also another really good. I like Cryptolith right in this kind of deck too, where you just kind of go wide. It lets you kind of puke your hand out.
Yeah, I like that too. Doubling
There it
season,
is.
you get more. Growing rights, just to have a good mana source. Intangible virtue, because you make a lot of tokens, give them vigilance.
That's another.
Mari's Wake, because gross, and also another lord.
Mm-hmm.
Uncounterable, making mana, double mana draw, good removal, good good protection, good removal, good protection. Oh, she's got a protection. Damn, she's got the trio. You gotta get a Chroma's Will in this deck because I've started playing that in literally everything that can. That's like a deck like this. A Chroma's Will is ridiculous.
Chroma's Will should be in there. I could have swore I had it in there.
No, it's not.
Oh, maybe it's in my tangible deck and not the online deck.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that Ingaruk's Wake would also be kind of cool in this too. I guess it doesn't get they don't get as big, so I guess
you shared at him. What Ingaruk's?
Not Ingaruk's Wake.
Return
of the Wild Speaker.
Oh yeah, Return of the the thing about that, like you said, they don't really get huge. Like the most she's gonna draw off of it is like 4, which is still not bad. Still not bad. But yeah, definitely a Chroma's Will, because the Chroma's Will just says I win, pretty much. Flawless Maneuver, Return, Swords. White Sun, because make cats. Gotta make cats. Arcane, Herald's Horn, Skull Clamp, Soul Ring, and the Great Henge.
So one other thing I also was thinking about too, creature-wise, is Metallic Mimic. I don't know if I saw that. It kind of acts as like a pseudo lord. But I guess it's not great late game. But just because with the doubling season in there, it also would technically.
It also doesn't work. It doesn't work well with the tokens because like the way that it works is you would name cat and then the cats would enter with a counter, but the dogs would just be 1/1s.
Yeah. And you don't really
Not that it's bad. Not that it's bad. I don't think it's bad. Like it could maybe just be better than Universal Automaton. The
thing is, I don't think it's not a changeling, so it doesn't get because you don't cast.
No, I know that, but I don't think she needs too many of those, and maybe Metallic Mimic just having another pump type thing, or another Chroma's Will is just better.
Also, with the Great Henge and doubling season, whatever, and that gives you another place to dump counters. That makes doubling season potentially a little bit better than just running a parallel lives. Because then that's another source of a few counters.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. This it seems like it's built really well.
And I think the only other thing I could really think of off the top of my head, but I don't know how much it needs it because the deck is pretty low to the ground, is like 3 visits in Nature's Lore.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. Like, yeah, she doesn't have like a ton of ramp because again, yeah, her curve is insanely low.
But then again, with the draw potential with some of the stuff in this deck, you want to be able to play multiple things. I guess Zendikar Resurgent does help with the double mana, and Mirari's Wake,
And smothering
and
smothering
if you
tide.
flip Growing Rights. But I just like that kind of early game accelerate just to kind of get you up a little bit ahead. But Farsi Cultivate, and you have Harvest Season and Kodama's Reach, not the worst. I mean, those are ones that we always use too. We just usually pair them with a little bit more, but we kind of go a little bit bigger in our decks sometimes.
Well, yeah, because we tend to even cut things like Arcane Signet for more ramp sometimes, just because if you're playing like mana doublers, it's better to prioritize having lands over like an Arcane Signet or something like that, you know? But, you know, that's just like a minor little thing. Everything else seems good. Yeah. Almost Card Kingdom showing almost 1,000. Man, this deck really is up there.
Yeah, well, don't forget like the land base. There's also Cavernous Souls, a great henge, a Teferi's Protection.
Yep. Growing Rights. Doubling Season is
Yeah,
almost $100 on its own now.
Did it really go up?
yeah,
Yeah, it's almost $100 on its own.
Oh my god.
yeah. It's one of those cards that it's a really popular strategy. Like +1 counters or just counters in general. You have like energy counters, planeswalkers. It works well with so many things, and then you could also use it for token strategies. So 2 different, like technically more than 2 deck archetypes. Anything with counters, which comes in a lot of different forms, and like tokens want that card. It's the same reason why Anointed Procession, the white version, is also really expensive because it's white's only, like mono white's only token doubler, and white makes a lot of tokens.
Yeah, it's almost like $50 on its own or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Something crazy.
We're even Doubling Season, which was a bulk rare card back in the day. I had a whole I think I had like more than 2 play sets of it because I think when I originally ordered it, it was like a bulk rare card back like way longer than I like to admit now.
Yeah, because nobody would play the card.
Like, because this is also like before Commander was as big as it was. Like,
Yeah,
you didn't see that.
This is why Ristic Study and Cyclonic Rifts and all these cards that we bought like 8 years ago, like, you know, when we started, like, or started playing Commander.
Yeah.
Like, those cards weren't worth shit. Like, I remember buying Ristic Study for like $6. And I remember Nykthos was like $5.
Well,
I remember Cyclonic Rift was like a bulk.
Yeah, so Cyclonic Rift was bulk rare for the longest time. Like, you pull that card, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then now Commander players are like, "That's the greatest card in the fucking game."
Put it in every blue deck.
Every deck, or else you're wrong. Oh man. Oh, also another thing is my Balagad Recovery. I like Balagad Recovery.
Yeah, but you gotta swap out a basic land for that.
Yeah, just one of the 6 forests is good.
You could probably even run the green one, the Turn Timber Symbiosis, because it's just a land, so you're just plopping out a forest for it.